All right, y'all. Today we are continuing our five-part series on our top fave free tools for you to run your business marketing. In this episode, we are talking about analytics. I'm Janae.
And I'm Brooke, and this is the Big Bad Marketing Podcast, where we help business owners build with intention and we share our favorite tools and resources and learnings to help you build a bigger, badder business. Let's
Let's do
do
this.
this.
Yeah, I love that. We
Analytics.
share. Oh, I'm going to go on a tangent real
You
quick
go
here,
on the
which is
tangent. Yeah, go ahead.
I will lead the tangent train. All aboard. Of you were mentioning the we're sharing our favorite things on this podcast, which is true. And it made me think of like, yes, we will talk about brown paper packages tied up with string. You know that song?
These are a few of my favorite things.
Yes, yes. That's basically this is what our podcast is in a nutshell. We just sing along about our favorite things,
Well,
starting with analytics today.
I think this series is exactly that because there are a lot of things we say all the time at Big Bad Marketing. And one of them is use all the free things first because there is no point in spending your hard earned money on paid tools and softwares and systems that you don't actually need, right? Because you could be spending that money on making your first
A
part-time
yacht.
hire or yeah, a down payment for your yacht. Like there are so many better things you could be doing. I mean, you could be using it to hire a house cleaner and buy back some of your time
There
to
you
spend with your
go.
family. Like there are so many great ways to spend your money and being perfectly honest with you, spending it on analytics and AI tools is not necessary.
Yeah.
At least for
Also, it
the,
just sounds so boring.
yeah.
And frankly, where my mind is going is like, you could pay for all these tools. That's great, but you're just really supporting a gigantic enterprise company who's already like rich AF and doesn't necessarily need more dollars. Or you could use your money to support yourself, your business, your small business that you're growing, or other small businesses. So all about this series, I think, is all about making wise, intentional decisions with your dollars, which are hard earned and should be well spent.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we're here to tell you you don't need some like business intelligence analytics tools. If you're an average business owner, like you're not a
You're special.
fortune.
You are a special, unique snowflake. That is true, but also,
But also, unless you're like a Fortune 500 company, unless you have shareholders or like a board that you're held accountable to, like you probably don't need a traditional like business intelligence analytics level tool. You don't need to be integrating all these different systems into a cloud database and using graphs
mm,
to tease out insights and like that's for a whole nother level of business. So if
okay, wait.
you're
Oh, yeah.
yeah, if you're anything like us, you can get a lot done with free tools and a simple spreadsheet and just some
Oh, my
insights from your
God.
own brain.
Yeah, I was going to say hot take, like weigh in on this. You could probably do this with your own brain and a spreadsheet.
Bam. And you
Yeah.
actually can.
Yeah. Also, business owner, if you find value and you feel empowered listening to ways to make intentional decisions about running your business, about using your resources, time and money, if you like our tangents and bad jokes and sing songs, you are going to love our newsletter. There's not as many sing song situations in the newsletter. It's an email newsletter, so it's been a little harder to figure out how to get our songs in there, but maybe one day. But we do pack it with really valuable content for you to make logical, strategic decisions, sustainable business growth decisions, and tactical tips for marketing and operations for your business. So you can sign up for that newsletter. It's totally free and it probably because it's free fits in this like free tools that are really valuable list. It's at www.bigbadmarketing.com/newsletter.
Yes, and this podcast sponsored by Big Bad Marketing. So that's why that is the best free tool is the Big Bad Marketing newsletter.
Yeah, we are. This is an advertisement for Big Bad Marketing.
All right,
Okay.
now this is not an advertisement. These are legit our favorite free analytics and AI tools. So, full disclosure on these first two is you know how a lot of people will say, if you don't pay for the product, you are the product?
Oh, yeah.
That is a cold, hard fact. And that is very true in the case of these first two tools, which is Google Analytics and Google Search Console.
Okay.
They're aggregating your data for you, they're looking at your data, they're probably using it in, higher level analyses. And of course, there are certain toggles you can use that's like, don't study my data or don't report problems back to you, yada, yada. But anyway, you are the product because these tools are free. But that said, they are powerful and there are not really, at this point, at least for my limited knowledge and understanding, better ways on the market to get this information without paying a lot of money for it. So, pretty much
And
every business can
mhm.
use these and they're easy to sign up for. We are going to include links in the show notes. So, don't worry about how to get to them. Just go to the show notes, click the link.
Could we just pause for a second for the not super tech analytics savvy people, the the less modern folk like myself? And could you just give like a high level of like what are we talking about as far as what is analytics? What does this mean? Uh, why
Yeah.
does this matter to the person, to our lovely listener who's listening to this right now, who got through our sing song and is like, all right, tell me more. Like, what are we actually talking about?
Yeah. So, when we say analytics, and thank you for stopping me because I do think that's a term that is is bouncing around my brain certainly all day, every day. And I come from a background in tech, so it's probably even more prevalent for me.
Hmm.
But we are talking about being able to assess user behavior across platforms. So, understanding, for example, in the case of Google Analytics, that is going to be connected to your website and it's going to enable you to see how many people came to my website. How
Hmm.
did those people come to my website? What platforms did they connect to me from? Did they come from social media? Did they come from organic search? Did they type in my website name directly? Um, and then what are they clicking on? What pages are they visiting? How much time are they spending on those pages? What are the pages where they are exiting my website from? And how frequently are they doing that? Like, it's all of this data and information that enables you to then form a picture of your own website and say, oh, okay, you know what? Last month we had 100 visitors and 50 of those came from our Instagram channel. And of those 50, 20 of them clicked on the product listing, but none of them bought. Okay, so now these numbers can start to tell a story where it's like, okay, Instagram seems to be a pretty strong channel for feeding traffic, like 50 users, 20 of them clicked on the product. That's a really good conversion. Why did none of those 20 buy? And now you sort of can use this analytics. This is where it gets more into the business intelligence kind of side of analytics, because now you can start to make decisions about your website and your products and your business based on data from real users. And that is the benefit of analytics.
Wow. That is amazing. You just blew my mind. And I work in marketing. Okay, first I want to stop you and say that I love the accessibility of the numbers and examples you just gave because 100 website visitors, if you're a huge enterprise company, you're freaking scoffing at us being like, oh, you had 100 visitors and then 20 of them did the next step and went to the product page or whatever it is. But for the very real business owner that we're talking to, those numbers are where you start. You might just have 20 visitors, and that's a win because maybe last month you didn't even have a website. So, Brooke, I just want to acknowledge that everyone starts somewhere. And if you're just now listening in and learning about analytics and this whole end to end process of understanding what metrics and analytics even are and how they relate to making valuable, strategic, effective business decisions, instead of running around and being like, I need to make a social media post. I need to do this. I need to do that. Like, welcome to this conversation and welcome to this process where, like you said, Brooke, we're talking about business intelligence. And man, I know I'm like ranting a little bit here, so forgive me, but I just feel very passionate about this because this is what our mission in Big Bad Marketing is empowering entrepreneurs, empowering regular humans who have a superpower that they want to share with the world and a thing they want to sell, a service, a product, a creation, and they don't know. We didn't know. We're learning every day how to understand which marketing techniques that we're using are actually working. And yeah, I just feel really happy about being able to continue to serve that mission in this kind of analytics conversation and help people make really good decisions for the long term of their business growth. So anyways, Brooke, rant end. Thanks for bearing with me there. But now that you've explained that and given some context of why this kind of information is so important, and if you haven't yet, go ahead and start turning on tools that are collecting this data, which we're going to walk through some of those tools. But even if you're not ready to use it now, one day you'll be glad that you turned on the button that collects this data so you can use it wisely. So let's
Yeah.
talk about these tools.
Yes, and that's such a good and important point, though, Janae, because a lot of these tools, if you don't enable them, they do not start collecting data. So you can't just be like, oh, today in July, I now want to see the last 12 months of data. So I'm going to turn on the tools. Like, that is not how it works. You have to enable them, and then you start collection from the day that you enable them. So if you
This is your message
wait,
to do it today.
yes, exactly. And I mean, it takes a matter of minutes to set these up. It is so super simple, and you will not regret it because 3 months from now, when you decide you actually want to look at this data, you will have 3 months worth of data to review. So enable these today. Promise, promise, promise you will not regret it. So we just covered Google Analytics. That is all about your website user behavior. Google Search Console is all about how people are finding you organically in Google search. And now we are entering into this new era where, Google was the champion of the world for so long. And that is where most
Mm,
people started searching for items. Now we've got all these competing tools. Now we have AI. Now we have other web browsers. Now we have social media as a search tool. And not every search is starting on Google, but it is worth saying Google is still huge, and Google is still big enough, and enough people, enough billions probably at this point of people are still searching on it every day that it is a really good indicator for the types of search terms that your business is being found with. So when you set up a free account on Google Search Console, it is going to show you the types of queries that your website is showing up for. So here at Big Bad Marketing, we
hmm
will start to understand like, oh, okay, hey, it looks like we're starting to show up for queries about digital reputation. Oh, well, why is that? Okay, because we did a podcast episode about digital reputation and then did a really in-depth blog. And now that blog is starting to rank in Google for these particular queries about how to manage your digital reputation.
Okay, so wait, pause. What are you saying? Like, someone of those several billion people who are still using Google to look up things went in and typed in the words into the box, managing my digital reputation, and then one of our podcasts or blog articles popped up as one of those results.
Yes, and it's our blog article because it's on our website. Google Search Console tells you what your website pages showed up for. And another point, and we have a really in depth episode on analytics where we talk about all this a lot more, so I won't spend a ton of time today, but Search Console is where you provide Google with the essentially the treasure map to your website. It's called your site
Ooh.
map. And it tells
Ooh.
Google, these pages are on my website. I want you to show these pages to people. I want you to make them available. And that's called indexing. So you index the pages of your website in Google, and those are the pages that are then available for people to find you. So sometimes there are like indexing issues and your whole website will be available, and that's a whole other thing that you can correct in Search Console. But just from a high level, understand that that is how people are finding you in Google, and sign up for a free account and just poke around yourself because there's a lot of good information.
Yeah, Brooke, for our business owner listener hi listener, I just want to relate with you because everything Brooke just said, while I followed the logic of, it feels like a deep rabbit hole of things that I know I should be thinking about. And it's actually very overwhelming because there's so many different things. And if marketing is not the thing as running a business that I want to be focusing on, like I want to be able to get a handle on this. So I so appreciate learning about these tools. But I guess I just want to say, business owner, listener, if you feel overwhelmed, you're not alone. There are so many marketing things to do. And that's why there's an entire industry called marketing. And if you're just like, I need some help and I need to get pointed a little bit in the right direction because I don't know what I don't know. And everything Brooke just said sounds like a different language of genius people who know stuff. It is because she is a genius and she knows so many things. And if you want to talk to her and me, please go to our website and contact us. And we would love to be in service and just give you some pointers, at least the best of our knowledge. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to tell you about paper packages, and Brooke is going to tell you about business analytics. But we're going to be there and we're here to support you. So go ahead and find us, contact us. Like we are here to help.
Oh, yeah. And this is nerdy stuff, and we love nerdy stuff. Okay. I love nerdy stuff.
We love different nerdy stuff, and that's okay. That's why
Yeah.
we're together.
This is one of these nerdy things that falls so squarely in my wheelhouse of nerddom. So let's chat about it because I would love to help you through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then another free tool that you can use is you can take that information from Google Analytics, you can take that information from Google Search Console, you can plug it into a super simple
A soup.
Google a soup simple Google Sheet, which is again for free, and you can use that to track trends over time. So once a month, you can log into your analytics tool, and I'm about to blow your mind here in a second, but let's just say once a
Girl,
month.
you haven't stopped blowing my mind.
Once a month, you log into your analytics tool and you're like, okay, how many visitors did I have to my website last month? 30. Amazing. Drop a 30 in your spreadsheet. And then next month, you're like, okay, this time I had 40. Okay, awesome. And
Oh,
now
it's
you
going
can
up.
start looking at directional trends over time, month over month. But what's really crazy and what you can do is you could hook up a tool like make.com, which is a sort of like you mentioned Zapier. I think it was in the last episode you mentioned Zapier.
I did.
Make.com is
I
kind of a
pretended.
Zapier-esque tool where you can connect these things. So I made an integration for us here at Big Bad Marketing that says, okay, go out and look at my Google Analytics report, pull in the data, go out and look at my Search Console, pull in the data, and then give me, well, and then also go out to Go High Level, pull in the data, and then give me a weekly synopsis that says, here's your number of website users, here's how many clicks you got on your website and your search position, and here's how many new opportunities and leads came through. And it gives us this super concise roll up in Slack every Monday morning so that we can start to spot trends on our own. And I will say, make.com is a paid tool that we pay for, but it is so worth it to me to be able to integrate these different systems. And if again, you're like, that sounds awesome that you have that insight, but I cannot even consider how to make that happen, we'd love to chat with you and help you out with making that integration because it is like fun for us. And that's why we do what we do.
Yeah, yeah. We have a future episode for sure about soup, but but also about automations. I know we've talked about using AI in business, and that continues to be a valuable conversation. But for me, the automations piece have been like here's how to take it to the next level. Now we're not just talking about like plug in your ideas to ChatGPT and see how it gives you captions and blogs. This is like, how can we use the power and the force behind these large language model systems to move things, to push buttons, to like create widgets, so to speak, and connect dots in our larger operations. So again, we're making intentional, sustainable decisions about where to invest our resource, in this case, time. And instead of every time we need to check on analytics and stuff, we have to go to each platform and do this and do that. We are now creating a way for all of that to happen behind the scenes so we can make quinoa and soup in the kitchen.
Exactly. And on the analytics front, and another place that you might want to pull in data from is social media. So you can also look at the analytics within the individual social media platforms and either manually put that into your spreadsheet or set up integrations and use automation tools and AI tools to help you pull together this data. And, we love ChatGPT, we love Claude. Make.com can also integrate with Claude. So for a lot of our internal automations, we go through and we pull data from systems and then we feed that data into Claude using a prompt, and then Claude spits something out, and then that goes into a Google Doc and we get sent the Google Doc in Slack, and it's all the seamless thing that happens, and it makes our lives so much easier. Um, there are so many AI tools on the market right now that I can't even begin to scratch the surface of what is out there to perform what functionality for your business. I think for the vast majority of business owners, especially those just starting out, something like a ChatGPT or a Claude as a front end tool is going to be so helpful for your business, just to be able to type in some basic queries, to ask some questions, either related to analytics or not. But I think there are so many ways to use those tools and to use the free versions of those tools. And then if you do decide that you want a little more power behind it and you want to upgrade, then it's what, 21-ish dollars, $22 a month with tax to actually upgrade to a version that gives you a little more oomph behind your AI work.
Brooke, all of that again, you're just such a genius. And I really appreciate how you're explaining all of this and empowering. It feels empowering. I feel empowered and inspired because I'm not the one making these automations. Like you build them, and I'm like, oh, wait a second, I can do it too. And using these tools is easy and possible for someone like me. And the answer is like totally yes. And it's just so, there's a lot of overwhelm. So just wanting to reiterate, like business owner, running a business is hard and it's overwhelming and there's lots of things to do and that's okay. Take a breath, do one thing at a time and make choices that are sustainable for the long-term health and success of you continuing to operate your business.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I think the thing that strikes me about analytics is we talk to a lot of business owners, and so few of them are armed with information about how their businesses are actually operating. And we talk a lot about business math and knowing your numbers, and that's one piece of it, but it's also understanding the data behind things like your website. And so just a little bit goes a long way in terms of empowering yourself, and sometimes simply reviewing your analytics on a monthly basis is enough to uncover problems that are easy to solve. They were just invisible to you before you had access to these tools. So this should feel empowering to you. It's like, oh wow, I can have visibility into, the way that my website is performing. And one other thing that we'll mention in an upcoming episode about websites specifically is a way to see what users are actually doing on your website. It's a tool called
Mm.
Microsoft Clarity. So tune into the next episode to hear more
Ooh.
about that, and how powerful that can be. But yeah, I mean, this shouldn't feel scary, though it might, and we are totally here to support you. So
You can do this. We do
you
this.
can
Let's
do
do
this.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess I'm just feeling pleased and thinking that this is a great, this is such valuable information for you, business owner, who is building something that you know is working, you're doing, it's going well, and you're just ready to step it up. And it's time to get some of these structures in place because you haven't, It's the you don't know what you don't know, and now you're immersing yourself in the information so that you do know and you can take these steps. And just want to give you like a big like you could do it.
Yeah, and
What's that
Janae just
lady?
put her arm.
Who
What is
is that
that like?
lady?
Oh, Rosie the Riveter.
Yeah, yeah, you can do it. So believe in yourself. You've got this.
Yeah, and tune into the next episode because there's gonna be more good stuff. Where does this come from?
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
If you don't say bye, is it even over?
Nah.
Bye.